back to the 628 Dirt Rooster channel, where hobby beekeeping is a way of life, and where today we'll be breaking all the rules. What we've got on the menu for today is a smattering of construction faux pas, along with some strategy on how to get to these things. This is on concrete columns or piers with a truss structure underneath, which is why I opened this up, because this is tucked back, way back in there, the depth of this block where it's difficult to reach. So I was trying to get from this side, but because, as you can see, this structure was a victim of some rather severe termite damage, the repairs consisted of blocking that blocked off my access from the other side. I'm going to show you the difficulty in reaching something like this in just a minute. And it's a cool and very windy day, as you may be able to hear in the camera. And I'm wearing black, and I'm not going to be suiting up for this. I'm about to dig in with the help of Jack. I've got Jack the reacher here, and right now his little brother Jim, Slim Jim, is fixing to get up there and cut some combs after I do some vacuuming. Worst spots ever. I had to be super careful. I was really, I'm cutting around a PEX water line. If you can scratch PEX and this stuff starts to leak. So I'm having to be really careful around that. I can't be up in there using a bunch of sharp knives, slinging, and I'm not sure what this line is here that's insulated. It's another water line, I assume. But we've got electrical reaching over, 2 water lines, and we're working around a sewer drain and straddling a pile of vinyl siding. They never make it easy on me. That's alright though, gonna get it done. I went and had some paint mixed up. A lot of people ask, do I do the repairs? Do I put everything back? I put everything back up to and including paint sometimes. One more thing before we get going on this. I'm going to take a measurement to the back of that hive so you can see. So because of where this is located and how I'm having to get to it, I can't really turn my body sideways and really get a good reach on it. So I'm just going to get kind of a accurate, what I could probably, I may not even be able to get that with that electrical in the way. About 23 inches is about, I can cut a lot deeper than that. Out to about here is where I can safely get without crunching up their electrical. 33 inches, pretty good difference than what I can actually reach. Yeah, I'm not opposed.
It's a win-win.
It is a win-win for everybody.
That's right. So that's all I got going on over here.
Alright, well, I'm going to finish this cutout.
Alright, buddy, I'll give you a holler tomorrow.
Alright, bye.
Talk to you, Randy. Bye.
Yeah, I could have sworn I saw her in the back hose, and then I got to looking right here. She's right here in this bunch. So I gotta either vacuum her or catch her, and probably be easier to vacuum her if I can't see her.
Go get the vacuum again.
I'm giving the bees to Fred, and he was just driving off. I've got all but what you see there, and could have sworn I saw her earlier, but I'm reaching like way back in there. I can't. I'm on this little work platform instead of a ladder, and so really as far as I can reach is about halfway up my forearm. And so as you can imagine, I'm looking at some distance to try to identify her in this low light up in here. But I just saw her walk up on top of this frame strap or frame bracket, and I called Fred to stop him, and I lost sight of her. So now I have to spend a few minutes and try to run her out again. The motor head is in the back seat.
Okay.
Stuck the bottom in the, there you go.
That was in the back.
Yeah, that was in the bed. I hope I can grab her by hand. If I can grab her by hand, we won't even put the vac back together. If she don't walk up pretty soon, we're gonna put the vac back together and see if, there she is. I don't know if y'all can see her. She's right on the outside of that bunch. I'm fixing to come up behind her and I missed her. I got everything but 3 workers on a hive beetle. So she's got to be in the vac.
They used where that pipe came in as an entrance?
Yeah, where this blue pipe comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big enough hole.
Yeah, it is. You see the dark on the concrete where they were traveling. So y'all didn't get to see the whole show. I was busy pissing myself off because I saw the queen, but I couldn't reach her because I'm in a kind of a bad spot here. As you can see, this is about as far as I can reach, and I could have touched her, but I would have had to grab her like this, and I wasn't confident that I could get her. So Fred brought the vac back over, and then I started dinking around with the vac because I'm getting no vacuum, and I didn't realize that the bottom wasn't on. So the bottom's a vent now. This the new everything vac has a vent on top and bottom, so you don't cook bees. And I didn't realize the bottom wasn't on. So by the time I got the bottom on, I lost sight of her again, of course, because she's a pretty good hider. And so now I've gotten everything except there's a couple of workers walking around, but I'm pretty sure, I was pretty sure last time, but I think we're good, Fred, and now I'm gonna let you have them back.
Take the whole thing?
Whatever you want to do, I don't care.
I'll put the lid on.
Just open them so they can vent. That's got me bothered because I didn't see her go in this time either. I'm fairly certain that I got her, but again, not 100%. If she is somehow miraculously still in there, she won't stay back there by herself for long, so she'll walk out. And I'm gonna give a few minutes while I get trimmed together and start putting stuff back together. I'll give a few minutes for her to walk out because she won't stay in there by herself. And there's just, as you saw, there's nothing else in there. There she is in the back. son of a gun. It's so stupid. This is the second time he's tried to leave, and I'm like, no, she's still in here. Dude. Yeah, there she is on the back wall. Put y'all down for a second because I can't keep my eyes on her and video and put the vac back together, so I flagged Fred down. He's gonna put the vac back together and bring it to me because she's way in the back. There's 2 workers in there with her. She will eventually come out, but I need her to be with her crew when he takes that vac home and puts those bees in a hive. Hand me the hose and put the vac on about half power. I'll collect her real quick for you.
She got bees hanging out on this thing too.
Yeah. Push that hose all the way in there, it'll tend to fall out.
She's on.
And give me about half power. A little bit more. Come on. Right there, should be good. She's in the hose.
Okay, you take it right.
She's in the hose, and so is the last of her comrades. So turn it on full power, make sure she goes all the way. Alright, turn it up and pull the hose out. Take the hose back to it real quick. All right. Okay, now Fred.
We're probably there.
Now you can take her home. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. So what I do a lot of times, if I've got cutouts lined up back to back or anything else that's taking my time, and I don't have time to attend bees or set them up or anything like that, I call local beekeepers who I know and trust, and a lot of them have been with me on jobs before, like Fred has. Fred's been on jobs with me in years past, and he lives fairly close to here, but far enough the bees aren't going to come back here. But I do that quite often. I'll call beekeepers and say, hey, you got any empty equipment, or you want some bees? And occasionally I get a no, but usually everybody's excited to get them. And I give away a lot of hives during the year. So that's how I do. So second time's a charm. Well, third time's a charm. I thought I had her twice before and just didn't. That happens sometimes. You think you've really done a good job, and turns out you didn't get the queen at all. Thankfully, I was still looking, because a lot of times you get done and they're in a space, and I've been taking my time on this job, so they've had time to come out. But if you get in a hurry and bees have run somewhere and you're not giving them time to come back out, there is a high percentage of chances that you are not getting the queen, unless you saw her, unless you caught her. Because she does run and hide. Like you saw, she was behind those frame brackets on the right hand side of the hive, and she's just slick. I mean, she ducks and runs. She's a hide and go seek champion. healthy queen, healthy hive. Had a lot of healthy brood. It's going in a melter, but it's spring. They'll make it all back up, and that's a hive. If they continue like they were, that's a hive. You know, people ask, can I pull honey my first year beekeeping or on a first year hive? Something like that, I'd say probably so. And you're not going to get a ton usually, but you can get enough to say you had a little harvest. So first year beekeepers, that's one of the most exciting things for them, is having their first honey harvest. And you can usually take a frame or two. So, you know, sometimes do better, but, and of course that all depends on where you are, what time of year you started, you know, how you tend them. There's a lot of factors that go into whether or not you're going to get anything off of them. But that's the same with established colonies and experienced beekeepers. It all depends. I don't really want to show where I'm at, although from the noise, and you can tell I'm right on a highway. But salt air, it's fairly interesting to me how bad salt air corrodes stuff. Just being right here on the beach. I don't know when that bike was placed there, but it was not here during Katrina, because this structure wasn't here during Katrina, and that was the last time this area flooded. So that bike has not been underwater. That is purely just being out in the salt air and the rain that's done that. So living on the beach, everything corrodes, which is why when you see us under houses and the plumbing straps have popped, or as soon as we touch them they break, they're just rusting in half from the salt air corroding everything. Finish out with some final comments over there. You probably heard the gentleman come out at the very end of the job and proclaim that he knew somebody who would come get those bees for free. This is a very, very common conversation that I have. Pre-job, mid-job, end of job, somebody's going to show up or comment on Facebook or something. I know somebody would have done that for free. By the time they get to me, they've been through all the free people. Most of the time, they've either shopped it around or been on Facebook, or my name's been given to them so many times that there's just I'm the only option. And I'm not the only option, but I'm pretty darn close to it, because it's a very niche business and not a lot of people do it. There's a couple around here that kind of do it, but nobody really does all the finish work like I do. So on this one, I put everything back together. That's another thing I get asked a lot. Do you do the repairs? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So on this one, I did all the repairs, all the caulk work, seal everything up, painted everything, new plumbing strap, and left the job spick and span, or cleaner than I got there. Cleaner than it was when I got there. The final thing that I'll say before we close out this video is, I said I was doing this with little to no protection, and I did use the mosquito net veil, but the price that I paid for that was about probably 30 stings on my arms and you really can't see anything. I mean, they don't really do much to me. So I took one in the face somewhere, and I don't even remember, at this point I don't even remember where it was, and probably 25 to 30 in the arms. More, I'd lean towards 30, but that's the price you pay for working unsuited. But I'm also very comfortable doing that. I don't have any problems with it. I've never had a bad reaction from it, and I stay cool because I'm not wearing a bee suit. And it's 66 degrees now. It topped out at 71 today, so it was a nice day to do a job unsuited, and really they weren't that bad. I'm headed to Fred's house now. He's already taken them home and put them in his setup, and I'm going to pick my vac up, which is on the way home. And that was the end of that job. Turned out really nice, and my customers are happy, and I'm happy, and Fred's happy. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Have a wonderful evening.
You want the truth, detective?
Well, that's what we're here for, is the truth.
Jennifer Dover's been in witness protection.
She was in witness protection?
Yeah, since '95. That's why.